Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Actually, when I heard that, I had to be repeating the play, to repeat playing and playing it, to get what the man was actually saying, because I wanted to be sure that what I perceived my ears to be hearing are the real things that this man was saying. And really, that is what he said, that politicians' corruption is people driven. Honestly, I think this is just the height of it for us in Nigeria. A politician of Ndume's caliber. Well, the man will say that he's being frank, that he's being sincere, that, you know, and the way the question was even put at him, I guess there was nothing that he could, there was no way he could escape from answering that question. But I didn't expect the answer, because that answer is like justifying corruption for politicians by saying that it is people driven. You collect all the money, you now go and you share it with people, and at the end of the day, and that has been the excuse that these politicians have been making. The political elite, that has been the excuse. I will now ask them, why do you think people look up to you for any form of largesse? They look up to you because they see that you are the one that is holding on to their commonwealth. They have seen you as the people that are using all the resources that ought to be used to develop the country for their benefits. You are the one amassing these things to yourselves. So they have now seen you as their lords and their gods and their masters. So I think our politicians should ask themselves, why are people looking up to you? Why do they come to you? This won't be the first time that he's saying this, and he's not the first politician and the only politician to say that. That has always been their excuse for stealing from us. That has been their excuse. That even and you know what he even said? He said, if you don't give them, you won't come back in another 4 years. That's simple. In 2-3 minutes, Ali Ndume has analyzed our politics, the money-induced politicking that we are doing in Nigeria. He did the analysis and he's going scot-free. And we are looking at it, all of us, we are just smiling, we are laughing. That is the problem, the foundation of our problem as a country. That is why democracy is not working in Nigeria. That is why politics in Nigeria is about money sharing. That is why people are not getting what they ought to get, the dividends of democracy. That is why they are not getting it. Because politicians think that they steal to give to the people, whereas they are supposed to put down infrastructures that will better the lives of people, such that no Nigerian should know the house of any politician, because it's not our business knowing your house. If you, for example, let's ask him, the people coming to you, what are they coming to you for? They are coming to you to ask you for money for health services because they don't have access to health. They are coming to you to ask you for money for food because they don't have food and they don't have access to food. They are coming to you to ask you for money to pay their children's school fees because education is not available for them, for their children. They are coming to you to ask you for things that ordinarily should have been provided for their welfare. Is that not the way it is done abroad? All these places that we look up to, don't we have social services in these countries? Is that not what their own citizens are benefiting from? So why should our own case be different? And why should any politician justify stealing? And the thing is that even I just told you now that Nigerians he won't be the first person to rationalize corruption in that manner. Nigerians, brazenly, he won't be the first person. If you talk to politicians, or if they have to talk to you, even in their campaigns and the rest, they do say it. They say it maybe because it is a one-on-one interview, and the man was just being sincere, really. To him, to himself, he thinks he was being sincere. So probably that is why Nigerians they are used to hearing such. So the kind of shock that you expect from the citizenry, you are not getting it, because they themselves see what has happened in Nigeria is that poverty has been weaponized. Politicians have weaponized poverty, and I tell people that poverty is bad. Poverty dulls your brain. It prevents you from thinking. You won't be able to think. A poor person is only concerned about survival. So, what Ndume said means nothing to a poor and angry person, because the most important thing, as far as they are concerned, is where the next meal will come from. And that is what is important to them. And for those who are elitist among us, we just feel, well, that's Nigeria for you. It's the survival of the fittest. Do what you can do on your own to get what you can get and move on. We have our politicians are crazy, they are this, they are that, and they just dismiss it, not knowing that until we tackle that foundational problem, we aren't going anywhere. So this question is so funny, because what has Ndume said, the Senate president of this country and the current Senate president spoke live. Every one of us heard him when he told his colleagues that your account has been credited. Go and enjoy yourself. The money you will use, go and enjoy yourself. It was taking life. So what has Ndume said? So who is now the person that will now call in to order? Do you understand? I just told you now that this is what all politicians believe, and that is what they use to justify their rogue nature. So who will now call him to order? Every one of them, they are the same. You cannot do that until we are able to stop politicians from weaponizing poverty. You see, there are some things I used to think were possible, but now when I think over and over them, I realize that I don't blame people that do certain things, because you really need to know the implication of what you are doing before you can take certain decisions. Like I said, a poor person is only interested in what he's going to eat. So maybe as things are going on now, that people are just suffering and suffering and suffering, maybe there will be a point where there will be a class a rejection of what these politicians are doing. So maybe the time will come that the politicians will come with their 5,000 naira during election, for example, and the electorate will beat them with their money and still take a decision, to vote the right person. Until we get to that point where we reject this shenaniganism from the politicians, we are not going to go anywhere. Yes, because I will even say that it's even more sincere than some of his colleagues. That is the truth, because I don't see anyone that is better than him. in that place. You are looking at a bunch of corrupt people, and this one even comes out to tell you that, oh, we are corrupt, but this is the reason why. It's like he even has conscience. I remember this man when he was contesting for the position of Senate president. We had an interaction with him, and he told us a lot of things. And in that meeting, I asked him, yes, that was when I asked him pointedly that, look, they always tell us that you guys, you earn 15 million, 18 million naira per month. But that when we see your pay slip, it's not more than 1.2, 1.3 million naira. What is actually the issue? What is happening? Where do you get that money? How do you do that calculation? Because we never see 18 million naira on the pay slip of any senator. I remember that man explained to us at that meeting that what happened was that in the Senate, they do have budgets for the health of members. That budget, when a member falls sick, you can go and receive treatment abroad. So whatever remains out of that money is supposed to be taken back to the federal government's account. But that they now discover that some people will say they are sick and some people will not be sick. So they now kukuma decided that this money for our health, share it for us. That kind of money is part of what constitutes that 18 million that you are talking about. And other bulk money like that ordinarily it is put there, but it's not supposed to be something that you must spend. But should you want to spend, then you can access it, then the remaining. So that is and that we can never see that figure anywhere. If you look at their pay slip 50 million times. And I remember him pleading with us at that time that please, he even said that he was going to make sure that does not happen again. But he said, please, don't report this thing. Because if you report it, I won't even get to that position. Don't even mention this thing anywhere. Don't even, you understand? So I'm still thinking that in a way, I still see him as somebody that has conscience among them. Do you know why do they put that thing? That there is honor among thieves or something. Maybe in his own case, he knows that what they are doing is bad. You understand? He still owns up to that bad thing, knowing that, oh, this thing is bad, but we do it. So I won't say that he's not fit to occupy the position. Looking at the generality, the overall qualification and the character of his colleagues in the Senate. So that's the anomality we see in Nigeria. That kind of reasoning that you could even suggest that a public office holder can even steal 1 million and just get a minor punishment and this and that. I don't agree with him. I even think that is a stupid, foolish, unreasonable statement from the mouth of a sitting senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. See, in the UK, there are lawmakers, if I think they mow grasses of the quarters or something, or maybe they have some allowances. I read one of them. I think they use the money to mistakenly pay a gardener or something. He paid it back. It's not even up to £50. That is a society where things work. When you go to I remember Michelle Obama talking about White House. That is a great place to stay. It's a great place and all of that. But you can't have friends. Your friends, if you feed them in the White House, you will pay. The White House only caters for the president's immediate family. So if your friends come to you, you are going to pay for their food in the White House. a lot of other things. There are so many things that the White House does not provide for, even the first family. That shows you how those same societies are run. So for anybody to now come and be putting corruption on stay, that if you steal 1 million, that your own punishment should be this. If you still go to China now, where is this country where they say the corruption, they will kill you now. You go and steal their 10 naira, they will kill you. The same punishment for the person that steals 10 naira is the same for the person that steals 1 million naira. So grading corruption, I don't know where that comes from, but that is also that also shows you where we are, how bad Nigeria's situation is, and how bad our politicians or our leaders think. And it's really, it's a shame. It's a big shame. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.